wanted to talk about how we became minimalist and the benefits we have found with minimalism. I found out about minimalism in a really roundabout way. It started when I became somewhat overwhelmed and annoyed with the amount of stuff that we had in our house. We've always been organized, but it just became too much as a full-time stay-at-home mom to deal with all of the junk that we had accumulated. At the same time, I was also looking for ways to save money and make more money as a stay-at-home mom, and that's when I realized that I didn't think we needed to have cable TV anymore. I decided that we didn't really need to have cable, so we decided to cut the cable and get Netflix instead. Once we started watching Netflix, I came across the documentary about minimalism by The Minimalist, and we watched that as a family, and I think my mom was even there when we watched it, but I found it so interesting. It had never occurred to me before that our lives could be simplified by owning less, buying less, and actually saving more of our money. I had never heard the word minimalism, which is kind of weird because when I look back, I feel as if we were always somewhat minimalist. For instance, after college, I moved to New Zealand with just 2 pieces of luggage, lived there for 3 years, and then when my husband and I moved back here to California, again, we moved with just 2 pieces of luggage each, so we were pretty minimal, but I had just never heard of that wording before and what it stood for. So I was super interested in it, and I started doing all sorts of research about minimalism, and that led me to learning about decluttering and staying organized, which I was already a super organized person, but I just love the idea of getting rid of things that I didn't really need or use. Finding out about minimalism was just the first step in our journey. It wasn't just I found minimalism and here we go, everything is perfect now and we're minimalist. It was just a very gradual, slow process of adopting these ideas. We started decluttering. I was so excited to declutter. I jumped right into decluttering, and I decided to start this YouTube channel really documenting the decluttering process. And unfortunately, I did not start this channel right on day one. I wish I had, but I started this channel a little bit into my decluttering process, and I was just so excited to start becoming more minimal and getting rid of all the extra things that I know that we didn't need. And I did a full video on the decluttering before and after a whole year of the decluttering process. But in actuality, it only took me about 3 months, I would say, to go through my entire house, top to bottom, and do the initial declutter. I'm talking every closet, every bin, garage, everything. I just went through everything, and I took trip after trip to the donation center, and I sold some stuff. I was just super excited about this process. I was even able to get my husband on board with decluttering and becoming more minimal, and my parents as well. What did you think when we first said we were going to become minimalist?
I wasn't really sure what it was, but I knew you were getting rid of a lot of your stuff, and I thought everything you got rid of, like, you're going to need that, you're going to need that. Why are you getting rid of that? I just bought that for you. So anyways, it was kind of stressful at first, but then I thought, it's none of my business, do what you want. And then I started to see that it was actually simplifying, especially with the toys all over the house. That was a huge, you didn't need all those toys.
So it's a good thing.
It's a good thing, definitely. Cleaning out your junk is a good thing.
The interesting thing about decluttering when trying to become more minimal is it doesn't happen overnight. And what I found is after those first 3 months of decluttering, I would still go through things and find more and more items that I wasn't using. And I think it's because I just started to really pay attention to what I was using and what I wasn't using. So for instance, 6 months into this decluttering process, I was still going through my wardrobe every season and finding a ton of items that I thought I would have worn, but I actually didn't end up wearing and didn't really need. All this stuff amounted to this humongous trash bag. I would have never even thought that I still had this much stuff to get rid of. and there's probably even more. Minimalism led us to save more money, and this was in a few different ways. One way was, of course, if you're buying less stuff, less things coming into your house, you're going to be saving more of that money. Some people don't. Some people spend that money in other ways. We decided to save it for our future, for our children, and for any trips we want to go on in the future. And also, I decided to invest in myself. So I took some courses, I made a profitable blog, and I'm actually starting on several other blogs. And it's just was a way for me to start my own business, really. And I swear, if I hadn't found out about minimalism, it would have never led me down this path. Maybe something else would have, but this directly made me think about how I want my future to go, where I want to go with it, and what I want to do with my life. And I love being a stay-at-home mom, but I just wanted so much more than that. And minimalism led me to think about that and helped me to grow in that aspect. Another major benefit of minimalism was starting this channel, documenting our journey, decluttering and becoming more minimal. These hangers were full of clothes before, and so many people have written me and said, thank you so much for showing your experience and sharing the tips that you've come across from my own journey. And I just love the fact that possibly one or two of my videos might have helped someone come across minimalism, learn about minimalism, or maybe a few of my tips have helped one of you declutter your home. And that just makes me feel so happy. And that is definitely the reason why I started this channel, is I was hoping that this whole topic would get out to more people and I could share our journey with all of you. Along with researching and finding more about becoming minimal as a side effect, I've also learned about becoming more environmentally friendly. So overall, we've changed a lot of things in our lives. I try not to buy anything that is a one-use plastic. Just little changes here and there have really added up to being a lot more environmentally friendly in our daily lives. So of course, when I first started this, I felt it was all about decluttering, but I quickly realized that it was not about that at all. It was more about living a purposeful life with just the things that you really need. I also learned that minimalism is more of a journey, not really a destination. And more than anything, it's about being intentional with the things that we do need to use and really enjoying life and making it to be the best it can be and getting the most out of it. Some super obvious benefits are just less toys, less clothing, less stuff to deal with. When I'm cleaning, there aren't as many doodads on the floor that I have to move to vacuum around. And one major benefit is how quick and easy it is to clean our house. And in our kitchen, it's easy to put everything away, and I don't have to dig around in cupboards looking for what I want and search around. I know where everything is and it's easy to find. We are by no means extreme minimalists. I consider us family minimalist or a minimalist family. We still have hobbies and we still keep our dress up clothes for the odd occasion, and I like to make these videos, so I have some supplies for that, but I just make sure that I have enough room to keep everything extremely organized and I'm not keeping anything that I'm not using. We have the things we use all the time that we like, but I try not to have too much of anything. So for instance, my wardrobe, I have enough clothes for about 7 to 10 days before I would need to do laundry. Same with my kids. Usually by the end of the week, they are running down to their last few pairs of shorts, pants, t-shirts, and that sort of thing. But it's not that I'm having to do laundry every single day, because to me, if I were to become too extreme of a minimalist, all of a sudden it would become more work to be that minimal. I like to say minimalism is a snowball effect. It started with the decluttering process, led us to saving more money, made me rethink how I was spending my time, which then led us to eating healthier, led us to being more eco-friendly. You get the idea. It just kept on rolling, and really At the end of it, it's all about living a more meaningful life that is filled with the people that we love and having that time to spend with them. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to never miss a video. And you can click right here to see our before and after decluttering after a year. And thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye.